Planet Earth is full of marvelous phenomena. Imagine going for a swim at midnight and suddenly finding yourself surrounded by a luminous blue haze. It's as if huge columns of light are emerging from the seafloor to the surface. This happens rarely and looks magical. This chemical reaction is known as bioluminescence, and it can occur in many different situations. For example, when tiny algae migrate closer to the seashore. If these algae are disturbed, they begin to glow in an attempt to protect themselves and create a beautiful sight. There is a place in the world where you can see something similar, but caused by other creatures. It is in New Zealand. In the caves of this country live glowworms. These are larvae of medium-sized narrow-bodied beetles that can glow. If you are lucky enough to visit these caves, you will feel as if you are in an underground galaxy. Recently, a video of a super rare phenomenon has appeared online. Take a close look and see if you can figure out what it is. It looks like a river, right? But there's no water. When Iraqis saw this phenomenon for the first time, they couldn't understand what appeared before their eyes and called it a sand river. Of course, it's not really a river, but it's a good image. What these people saw is close to an optical illusion. It's not sand, but it's not exactly water. This is what happened. In arid areas, hail is not that uncommon. And in the case of the sandy river, we see thousands of floating hailstones. This is essentially frozen rain that has fallen in the form of small ice pebbles. An unforgettable sight. Let's say you're driving through the countryside and suddenly notice a mushroom-shaped cloud. Uh-oh. Could it be a spaceship from another civilization? You don't realize what it is, but you see that it's huge. What should you do? Keep heading in its direction or turn around and go the other way. You should know that such a cloud indicates that there is a huge thunderstorm going on inside. And not just any thunderstorm, but a mesocyclone. A mesocyclone is a rotating upward flow that can extend over several kilometers. It is usually accompanied by heavy rain and high winds. If I were you, I'd turn the car around and drive in the opposite direction. Phew. You know Thor? I think he may live inside the following natural phenomenon. Sometimes when a volcano erupts, the process can be accompanied by something like a thunderstorm. Scientists call it volcanic lightning. They are still arguing about the causes of this phenomenon. One of their guesses is that when a volcano erupts, it throws positively charged debris into the atmosphere. These charges react with the negative charges already present, which can result in lightning. Pretty cool, huh? The first time something like this was seen was during the eruption of Vesuvius in 79 AD. They said it was epic. I wonder if Thor was seen there? What would he be doing in Italy? In Africa, namely in Senegal, we will witness another incredible sight. About 30 kilometers north of Dakar, the capital of the country, there is a unique lake. When you arrive there, you may think you have stepped out of a spaceship and stepped onto an unknown planet. After all, have you ever seen real pink water? Lake Retba, or Pink Lake as the locals call it, has become world famous for its color. And you can swim in it if you want to. But you should know that its water is very salty. Lake Retba is known as one of the saltiest lakes in the world, with a salinity level of over 40%. And if you are wondering why the water is pink, I can assure you that it has nothing to do with otherworldly factors. It's the high salt content. The pink color is caused by the algae Dunaliella solanacea. It produces a red pigment that absorbs sunlight, giving the lake a striking pink color. And if you want to see the lake in all its glory, you should go there during the dry season, from November to June. In other months, rainwater dilutes the pigment and the color becomes less distinct. In recent times, Lake Retba has started attracting tourists from all over the world. They don't miss the opportunity. You have probably heard of the polar, or northern lights. This phenomenon continues to fascinate scientists and observers alike. To see it, you will have to try your best. First, travel to the far north or south of our planet. And, if you are patient and lucky, the sky will put on a show for you. The northern lights are quite rare. Although the greenish lights look delicate, they are actually created by an extremely violent event. The spectacular light show occurs when charged particles from the sun crash into the Earth's upper atmosphere. But the spectacle itself is nothing short of spectacular, isn't it? Can you imagine a hill that never stops burning? The so-called Smoky Hills in Canada's Arctic region are one of a kind. Here we are closer than ever to science fiction, as some of the minerals found in these hills have only been discovered outside of Earth, on the surface of Mars. The soil here has been emitting smoke non-stop for at least 200 years. Researchers thought the area was an active volcano, but it turned out not to be so. The soil in the area contains sulfur and coal. And when these elements come into contact with oxygen, they spontaneously combust, producing smoke. I don't advise you to explore this place. The environment here is extremely unfavorable for humans. The smoke is toxic and its temperature is dangerously high. Let's move on before the smoke gets in our eyes. Have you ever heard of nature's snowballs? They are another proof that nature is perfect. In the year 2016, the coast of the Gulf of Obe in the Arctic Ocean was filled with rows of giant snowballs. Imagine balls up to a meter across. This rare and beautiful phenomenon occurs when strong winds and water roll over small chunks of ice. The further they roll, the more ice they collect and the more polished the ice becomes. Eventually, the snowballs turn into giant balls of perfect shape. Each one looks amazing, but hundreds of these balls together? Just think, you could have a snowball fight between the giants. And then there are snowballs that look like donuts. This shape occurs only in ideal temperature conditions, when the snow is both hard and fluffy. The snowball starts to roll downward, accumulating more and more snow until its middle part collapses. In this way, the snowball takes on the shape of a donut. Does it taste like a donut too? I don't think so. Let's say you're going on a camping trip. But instead of blue skies, you see a huge cloud of fog. It may ruin your photo shoot, but it offers an incredible sight in return. Foggy days are perfect for a phenomenon known as a misty rainbow or white rainbow. It is caused by tiny droplets of water that form fog. They are even smaller than 1/1000th of a millimeter. Because of them, instead of a multicolored rainbow, you get a transparent one with reddish outer edges and a bluish inner border. Cool.